So I don't have the poetic ability of Melanie, but I do have the same accent. So there is some similarity. On occasions like this, emotions come out strongly. So I'm going to try and keep this together. And Tully asked me to do a presentation on behalf of the Brinkles, a little speech, but Tully forgot that, she said do a couple of minutes, but she forgot that I take after her Oma, Ethel, who doesn't know what a couple of minutes comes to when it means talking. So I'm going to do a little presentation on behalf of her mother, Gillian, tonight. And that's my sister. And I thought, what would she say tonight? And I thought she'd give some advice to you of how she lived her life. So I thought I'd put the things that I remember how she lived her life. Always be there for your family and friends. Put others' needs before your own. Discover the world and appreciate the different cultures in the world. Help others in need. She always did. Enjoy entertaining. Put your heart into your food. Now there's a little bit of a challenge for you, Tully. Keep a full fridge. Never let anyone who pops by go hungry. Always have a carrot cake, a cheesecake, and a chocolate cake available. You never know when Adam or David may get hungry. Give your children every opportunity to succeed in life. Nag, 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 until it gets done. Adrian learned the hard way. But most of all, respect each other, enjoy your life, and live every day as if it was the last. Never have any regrets. Now, Grandpa Reuben, on the other hand, would add a couple more practical rules. Do 50 pull-ups every morning. Chew your food 100 times before you swallow. Pour olive oil onto your cereal. It's much more healthy than milk. Go to the gym at least 3 times a day until you're 85. Eat lots of fruit and avocado pears, especially rotten ones. And finally, Tully, sue all those capital bastards who are destroying the world. Tully, I must tell you how pleased your mom and your Grandpa Reuben must be today. As Anne said, the little birds flying in the trees. They look down upon us today. You're marrying a nice Jewish boy, an accountant on top of it, with both African and Israeli roots. How much better can you get? Now that reminds me of the day you phoned Grandpa Reuben to tell him you were getting married. That was about 10 months ago. I happened to be in South Africa when Tully phoned Grandpa, and I was sitting next to him. And let me tell you, those of you who know my father, he never cried. That was the first time I saw him cry. When he hung up, he took off his glasses, wiped his eyes, and said to me, "What a great guy Tully is marrying, a real mensch." I said, surprised. "You've met Elon?" He looked at me and, "What do you mean?" I said, "You've met him? How do you know he's such a nice guy?" He said, "I spoke to him on the phone. He phoned me. And if Tully agrees to marry him, he must be a real gentleman." Tully was his favorite granddaughter. I have such fond memories of the day on the 27th of January when you and David were born. The first grandchildren born to the Brinkle family. I remember those days well. But let's think about it. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have, the cameras we had were spool cameras. Remember those? Tully, so it's not that, it seems like ages ago. but it's not that long ago. We didn't have smartphones, we had South African Telecom. I try to imagine if we did have Facebook, what would it have been like on that day, on the 27th of January? A posting from Adrian. Think about this, Facebook, a posting from Adrian, a photo of Gillian, looking exhausted, but radiant, holding the twins. Welcome David and Tully to the world. Mum and babies are doing well. And then a flurry of comments and thousands of I likes. The first, obviously, would come from her Aunt Anne, as she's always first on Facebook. Mazel tov, they are gorgeous. A bright future awaits them, says Anne. All that seems like yesterday. A few months ago, we saw David marry his Andy. And today, Tully and Elon. Yes, Anne, you were right. A bright future. Tomorrow, Facebook comments will read after a posting from Elon with tons of beautiful pictures that we've all just witnessed. And he will say, today I married a beautiful, awesome, incredible woman, one of a kind, my best friend and soulmate. With thousands of comments and I likes coming from around the world. Michael from South Africa, Ivan from Scotland, Hermie from South Africa, Dalia from Israel, Camille from China, Brigitte from France, all looking at pictures and wishing they could have been here today. But one posting stood out, and I must read it to you, Tully. Sorry I couldn't be with you, but I am with you in spirit. And Josh promised to take lots of pictures so I can show all my friends at the home what a lovely family I was blessed with. I know my brother Wolfie is keeping an eye on you, as he did with me when I was a young girl. Oh, my Ethel. The poor roommates in the old age home in Johannesburg are in for a real treat. With Grandma telling them just one more time all the stories she repeated so many times of how wonderful and bright her grandchildren all around the world are. Now we look forward to the next posting, and that's going to come from Elon. The triplets were born today. Mom and baby are doing well. As David Udelman adds the new members of his Udelman family to the tree on his website. Adam, hopefully you'll give your dad a break from weddings before you go onto Facebook and post your announcement. But Tully, Elon, I'm sure Gillian would not only be proud of you guys today, but she would be proud of the way Adrian and Debbie continue to bring you up in her values and her memory. Think of one thing. The present is a gift. That's why it's called a present. Mazel tov.